2 shows, I'm about to pitch another.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Some adjustments will have to be made by both teams here as the weather has turned nasty and rain will be coming down throughout this game. Let's see who can manage the wet conditions better. It's the Texans going up against the Bengals. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd, and they're all set as they'll match up with the Houston Texans. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A look at the numbers from last week for Miller. 14 carries, 59 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
His throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. Here's Watson, option left, and he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. And fights through one man. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. First and 10 for Dalton. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that? Who
are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
This one grabbed by A.J. Green. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball is thrown.
I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. That is caught at the 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are going to take a 1st quarter lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now out comes Houston. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
The Cincinnati defense is well respected around the league, but they didn't play to their standard in 2016 if you just look at the pure numbers. Ended up 17th overall in total defense, but in the tough division that they're in, the AFC North, they have to be better against them.
Now the ball comes loose, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Even though he's a 4th rounder, I think he might have a chance to play and prove that, hey, I could have been taken higher in that draft.
And we've seen so many times now, guys who go lower in the draft, undrafted free agents that become big-time players, Pro Bowl players. So you never know. 4th-round pick has a chance to be a really good player.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going deep for Hopkins. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it. Couldn't get it. And it's second down.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively.
Let's go.
On second and 10, Watson. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. One quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. It's a close game here early on. We'll return to Cincinnati after this. First down marker at the 31. It's third down.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, Watson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson in there to bring him down, and it'll be a play to remember for that young man. The first sack of his NFL career.
As aggressive as Cincinnati is on defense, I was surprised that they only had 33 sacks last season.
Yeah, bottom half of the NFL.
I think that helped contribute to them not making the playoffs. Remember, they had a nice little run going. That's the first time they missed in the last 6.
And the Texans scoop it.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I'd become a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And on second and 10 now. After the penalty, it's Miller. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
Lamar Miller went to Houston to be the lead running back, the featured guy, but still, I think Coach Bill O'Brien might have felt he overused him a little bit in the season. His touches were way up.
Yeah, he was on pace for over 400, a lot of bumps and bruises, maybe on a little bit of a pitch count here in the early going.
Could also be the reason Houston drafted Dante Foreman out of Texas, maybe to ease the load a little bit. I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And Frank's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. Last series, the ball never hit the ground. 6 of 6, touchdown pass. So whatever he did then, do it again, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I watch the best quarterbacks throw 7-on-7 or even routes versus air. They're accurate. The receivers catch it. The ball never touches the ground. Or if you want to take it to basketball, a well-executed fast break, right? Pass, 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 finish at the rim, basket. Yeah, ball never hits the ground there either. Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Dalton. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howell. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Here's Watson. Throw left side complete. It's Griffin. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And caught right side, Green. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
You think about the great tandems that we've had this decade in the NFL. Think about Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Big Ben, Antonio Brown, Brady, and Gronk. But look, Andy Dalton and A.J. Green, they have to rank in there, don't they?
Yeah, and 2 guys that came from the same draft class.
A.J. Green in the first round, Andy Dalton in the second round. And what they've meant to the Cincinnati Bengals franchise has been everything, a lot of playoff appearances.
And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Here's Dalton. Now they go screen. It's complete. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. They'll try on 4th. Here's Dalton. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Here we go.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. Right side, caught Fedorowicz. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Watson now to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing on third down, Watson. And he's got it, Fedorowicz. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And it's fielded at the 34. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A very solid gain of 27. Dalton, 1st and 10. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
Here's Dalton. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A.J. Green with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out comes Houston. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Underneath for Miller. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And to the left side, Fedorowicz has it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Here we go.
Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And now running right through it. And he'll power his way up near the 25. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. On 3rd down, Miller. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Shane Leckler now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And this ball is going to be touched down just shy of midfield. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howell. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame. Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Now it's Watson setting up the screen for Miller. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Let's go!
To throw on second is Watson. And he's got it over the middle. Fedorowicz. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And Frank's kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. Put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good, because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And he will be brought down. His time is now run out on this first half of action. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back. Now, you folks don't know what you're missing. Missing Larry Ridley. Ready to get back, though, to this Week 2 matchup. Let's get to it. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They'll pick up another first down with that run.
Again, it's Mixon. Stiff-armed him. Strong run, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 2nd down, Dalton. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Dalton to Green for a Cincinnati first. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9. Looking to throw on second down. Dalton going deep downfield. He's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Always important to get the first score in the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use.
He's got a man, complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Now, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some spin.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Carl Lawson in there to drop him, and that will go into the books as the first sack of his young NFL career.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
Tim Carey now for Lamar Miller. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Here we go.
3rd and long. It's Watson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? On the right side, caught by Green. And he's brought down after a good gain. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, it's real easy to ascertain that in the game plan, Andy Dalton to A.J. Green was deemed vital.
And it certainly was the focal point of the defense. They just had trouble with it. Most teams do.
Well, that just tells you how good it is. These guys have grown together, coming into the Bengals, getting together early, and continuing to get better. Doesn't matter what defense is put out there. They feel like they have an answer for it.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
One way to get recognition, partner. Make some big plays. Bernardrick McKinney was the only player in the NFL last year with at least 100 tackles and 5 or more sacks. It's a big, long linebacker in the middle, but boy, does he have the ability to bend and make plays.
To throw here, Dalton, and the grab by Croft. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st. Dalton operating in the red zone now. They'll set up the screen here to mix him. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. With a give here to Mixon. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And Elliott puts this one through. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it a 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just... play better and better.
The Texans on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Come on, let's go!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it'll give the Texans a first down. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They'll run here with Mixon. And some big-time hitting going on there. He is knocked to the ground. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop him here. So now
Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. Watson on 1st down. Right side, caught Fedorowicz. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Here's Watson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
The best defensive linemen They play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give up a 100-yard rusher.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bernardrick McKinney coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic.
And he's going to go down again. Bernardrick McKinney in there to get him for his second sack of the night. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Dan Williams in there again as this offensive line is in tatters. 3 sacks in 3 plays.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Ellington. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before you get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. From the gun, here's Watson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. And one of the whistles for timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Here we go.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And we're hitting the end of this one, and it looks to probably be the final play. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. One last throw here for Watson. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game. And